Hey guys, I am Adam. Welcome to the Vintage Sanctuary. Believe it or not, I downgraded my 1949 Leaf Ralph Kiner from a PSA 3 to a PSA 2. I should say, re-leaf it or not, I re-leafed because I sold my Leaf right before the National. I had a PSA 3 49 Leaf Ralph Kiner. And it was a nice card, but on the back, the black ink was just kind of weak around his name, and that was bugging me. You can call me crazy, but it was bugging me, and I just wasn't as stoked as I could be about the card. So I sold it to generate some funds, additional funds for the National, figuring maybe I'll pick up another one at some point. And I'll get some pictures up here for you to check out of the card that I sold. Well, I have re-leafed because just yesterday in the mail, or maybe it was the day before, but just recently, I got a new, glorious, new to me, 1949 Leaf Ralph Kiner, this time in a PSA 2. So I downgraded, and here's the deal. The price I sold the PSA 3 for, even after fees, was a bit above the price of the PSA 2. So I actually bought the 2 and had some money left over. So that is pretty darn cool. Let's talk a little bit about Ralph Kiner. His first 7 years in the league, from 1946 to 1952, he led his league in home runs. 7 consecutive years. Who else has done that? Absolutely nobody. Closest was Babe Ruth. He led his league 6 consecutive times. And then there were, I believe, 3 players that led the league 4 consecutive times. But as far as being consecutive home run king, well, Ralph Kiner, he's the king of that. King Kiner. Now, here's the deal. From 47 to 52, in those 6 years, he led or tied the entire league, American League and National League, in home runs, which is just insane. A couple of those years, he tied with slugger Johnny Mize. Not only that, Ralph Kiner had a couple years where he was 50-plus home runs in the National League, and I believe that was a record that stood for a long, long time, like many, many decades. Here's the deal. He only played, I think, a little over 10 years, somewhere around there, because of some back issues that came up. But wow, what a glorious run right during the golden age of baseball for Ralph Kiner. And then, of course, he was a beloved announcer for the Mets for like 50-plus years. Just crazy. He was also a World War II veteran. Just a truly amazing person and player. So really, really stoked to have this card. Now, here's the deal. This card tends to come with an orange background and kind of a baby blue nameplate and hat. This was the year before, the year prior to the Pirates changing to their black and gold uniforms. But kind of a scarce color variation would be sort of this pinkish background, and that's what this card is. And oh, does that color pop. And when you get that scarce color variation, the blue tends to be really vivid. So the color on this card just absolutely pops. Let's check it out. Whoa. I mean, this card is in the grade. Look at that. What grade does this look like to you? Does it look like a Gem Mint plus 10.5? That sounds about right to me. This is in a glorious good 2. The corners are sharp. I don't see any wrinkles. The color is just really, really sweet and scarce. The registration, which is so tough, is just spot on. This card is just absolutely glorious. Now let's turn it over. Check out the back. Well, none of that weak ink. Notice the black ink is just laid down thick, which I really love. You can see a little bit of pink here and there from the the wet transfer when they had recently printed the sheets and then laid them on top of one another. But I'm not seeing any wax stains. Now, you can see just a little bit of the copyright up here from the card that was above on the sheet. But you get all of the lettering. It's close, but you get all the lettering on the bottom. So it's like you get just a little bit of extra. Maybe that's technically a miscut. I don't know. Maybe that's what makes this a 2. But this card is just absolutely stunning. So I downgraded, had some money left over, and I could not be happier. I'm actually pleased as punch. Maybe that's punch color. Maybe it's grapefruit. Maybe it's pink. But whatever it is, I like the orange as well. But I think this color is just stunning and absolutely glorious. Now, speaking of Johnny Mize, how about a bonus showing here? Let's show the 49 leaf Johnny Mize. This one I got as a gift from my wife. I have to look. I can't remember if it was birthday or Christmas. But anyway, a gift from my wife. Of course, I picked it out, but it was from her. Wow, what a color fest. I absolutely love 49 leaf. And so now I've got 4 of them. Now I had 4, but when I sold the Kiner, that put me down to 3. So the 3 were Ted Williams, Stan Musial, Johnny Mize, and now I've added back a Kiner. I have reliefed, and got this glorious grapefruit good 2 Ralph Kiner. Did I mention these colors are just stunning? Absolutely love this set. Yeah, there's just something about it. As you can tell, I'm super stoked. Now, I have not been, spending a lot because, well, first of all, recovering from the 2023 National and the spending spree that I went on there. So, recovering from that. And then secondly, looking to pick up something that's, a little bit pricier, not super crazy, but a little pricier, maybe in November, possibly December. So, cutting back on the purchases. So, hopefully I'll have something to show that is a little bit bigger in November or December. However, in the meantime, I could not be happier. I probably mentioned that 12 times. And am so happy to share this with you. Thank you for sharing in my joy. I hope you had a wonderful and peaceful time in the Vintage Sanctuary. Take care, my friends.